Welcome back to the Barca Breakdown. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button because my name is Adam. I'm here with
What's
Yus.
up, guys?
And Yus, we have a big game coming up against Athletic Bilbao at San Mamés this Saturday. We're so excited. We're going to do a live stream before the game, talk to you guys afterwards. And that's a big game. Always has been, always will. I think we all remember the Supercopa loss last season that was pretty sad. But let's get to some big transfer news because there is, I think, only around a week and a half left until we for sure know who's going to be on this team. And there are some big topics. Ilaix, Coutinho, Pjanic, Umtiti, Sergi Roberto, Jordi Alba. So let's get into it, Yus. What is the latest on Ilaix?
So Ilaix is not going to get a new contract coming up here. I know his contract ends next year, but it looks like he's not going to be playing on the Barca squad. He's going to be on the B squad. He's not going to get any time. But he does have some offers that Barcelona do not want to take. Right now he has an offer for 8 million euros from RB Leipzig. But I believe that Barca want more than that, around something like 15 million euros. Now that
and they should, right?
For sure.
The guy had a lot of play time. He has a bright future.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us Barca fans are just kind of getting over Ilaix. Like, okay, and we've gone over this so many times. I guess let's just update, right? We don't need to go back, but he wasn't so supreme last year that he deserves a big contract like Pedri, and he's just holding out for more money even when he knows the team is in financial ruin. And I would wish he would, if he cares so much about Barca like he says he does, take after Pique and take a pay cut to stay with the team. But if he's not, hey, here's the thing. There's no reason for us to play him because we have to either trade him or he's going to leave for free next summer, and I don't think the team wants to invest money on someone who won't sign this year, who's probably going to leave next year. There's no reason for us to give him playtime. And the big thing is that we're getting Yusuf Demir. We're getting Nico Gonzales. We have Riqui Puig, who's still in the wagon, right? There's a lot of young midfield-type talent that we can play. And so, Ilaix, hey, I liked him a lot when he first came up, but there's no reason for us to lose sleep over him. That's my thought, Yus. Do you have any last thoughts about Ilaix?
No, and he doesn't even need to take a pay cut. He just doesn't deserve more, simply, right? And that's okay, and like you're saying, definitely appreciate the young players that are stepping up to fill that gap, like Puig and Demir and Nico Gonzales. That is great, and I'm glad that they're there for the team. Ilaix, hey, good luck. I think you will do a lot better in your future, but he's not for us, right?
Well, yeah, not with the wages he
exactly.
wants, right? And I think next, the guy who gets a lot of hate from Barca Twitter, Barca Instagram, Barca whatever medium you choose to ingest Barca news is Umtiti. The big news is that Lyon, his old club, they recently, I think, suspended or demoted or might have ended their contract with Marcelo, a Brazilian center back they have, which leaves them with an opening that Umtiti could go in. The only rumors we hear about Umtiti is that he wants to play Champions League soccer next year, which I don't know if it's going to happen with his level of play, but that is his goal, right? Nothing really is confirmed that he's going to leave, but the club is actively looking, and I think, everyone knows here we want to get rid of him, so hopefully we'll find something with him. Pjanic is kind of in the similar boat. Juventus just signed a new midfielder, and so it's not looking like Pjanic has a good spot to go to, so I don't really feel confident either of those guys are going to go anywhere soon, but, if the club can get him off for at least get some money back and not have to pay their wages, that would be
Pjanic has a contract till June 2024, right? There's no way he's going to get that much play time under Koeman. He's just not our type of player from what I've seen. And, that's too long to have a contract and not utilize him and not get any money, especially when we're in financial trouble. And that kind of goes for Umtiti too, right? His caliber of play has decreased. We should ship him off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Umtiti, right? Clearly the knee still affects him. He's not that fast. He doesn't have, the great positioning he used to have. He can't. The only thing he's really still retained the ability to do is pass the ball well. And then Pjanic, I mean, here's the issue is that I remember us talking about getting Pjanic in 2015. We have him now and he's 31, right? He's already over that hump. All of his performances with us weren't that impressive, and so it's hard to see him suddenly having some sort of career resurgence in his, early 30s. And so looks like we're going to have to move on. Speaking of it, Yus, listen, try not to be too upset. I know we're going to bring up a player that you have an extreme dislike for, okay? But Sergi Roberto,
okay.
He's about to get a 2-year extension from the club, right? And he also is going to take a pay cut. He admitted that. And he's also deferring some of his wages from this year, his astronomical wages for his level of play this year going to be deferred to later years. So he is doing what we want the captains to do, right? We derided Alba for not doing the same. Sergi Roberto is doing it. I agree with you that, we've said it so many times, his play is not up to par for what we need. However, he did kind of shut us up, right, in the game last weekend, first La Liga game. He scored that last goal. He kissed the club. He kissed the crest. He was saying afterwards that he loves the club. And so how do you feel about these 2 more years of Sergi Roberto?
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I'm glad he's taking less wages, but I think those wages could go somewhere else. I don't think he's getting older. He doesn't provide any consistent play for the club. I totally agree. He came in the first game of the season and scored a goal that put us up 4-2, and I was happy about that. But at the same time, is that something that is going to be reoccurring? Is he going to come off the bench and be some great superstar? I don't think so. I think his time is much over. And we heard some of the commentators in the game, mentioning his spectacular goal against PSG how many years ago to bring it 6-1.
Yeah, half a decade
and so
ago,
that's
right?
the only thing.
That's the thing about Sergi Roberto, is that he had a good connection with Suarez. That's one thing I'll always admit about him. And so, hey, maybe we find out somehow he has a good connection with Depay or Griezmann. Maybe he can create something there from the right back spot. If we put him in the midfield, I feel like his passes are always just backwards, really defensive. But, a lot of fans out there have a differing opinion, man. I've seen a lot of people say, hey, Sergi Roberto's always been there with the club. He's always been there for the club. People way overhype how bad he is, and that he can actually be a consistent contributor if he's not a starter. I think that's the big thing that we have to realize, right, is that at the end of last season, when Sergi Roberto came back from his injury and started playing more, that coincided with the team in general going downhill. And so that left a really bad taste in all of our mouths. And then the period before, right, under Valverde, Sergi Roberto regularly was the starter at that right back spot and never proved to be too much. But hey, maybe we should give him a chance, see if as a sub he has more spark off the bench and can provide us with either some calm, cool-headed presence on the ball or maybe something else. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope. Yus doesn't have a lot of hope, but let us know in the comments if you think Sergi Roberto is that guy. And then I think as we round out the video, one person we should talk about who we did, based off of transfer rumors, say some things that weren't super positive is Jordi Alba, right? So we all remember in our our preseason predictions, right? Check it out right here. You said that Jordi Alba is his nomination for the most disappointing player of this coming season. Jordi Alba, after the game last weekend, he said, "Nobody in the club told me about a wage reduction until 3 weeks ago. My predisposition has always been to help the club, and nobody has to doubt me in this regard. It would be good if you asked the president about his refusing to cut wages." He said, "What hurts me are the lies. Many things that said are not pleasant, neither for me nor my family." So Jordi Alba's coming out after that game, after that win, and he looked decent, I thought, in that game. And he's saying, hey, these people who are saying that I didn't want to reduce my wages and that I was, kicking up dirt when the club asked me to, that's all lies. It's not true. So when you look at this use, what do you think? Is it true, false?
I mean,
how do you feel?
there may be slight truth to it, but Pique had this on the radar of him to take some wage cut long ago to make sure that the club could sign some of these players like Aguero, Garcia, Depay. But how does he?
But Pique didn't sign that until a week ago.
But how does he not know about it?
There is something here that's. Well, I mean, if you we all think of Pique as the stalwart captain of Barca who loves the team, wants to be president one day. If he knew about it months ago and he only signed it a week ago, that would seem kind of weird as well, right? And so I do wonder how much of this is true or false in terms of, maybe the players knew the whole time they would have to, but no one from the club actually came to them to ask them until 3 weeks ago. I don't know, right? That's an interesting question to ask.
At the end of the day, I think some of these players, especially the captains, knew that we were in financial trouble, and Messi even had that offer of reducing his wages by 50%, and that was well known. I think there had to be something that these players knew about. That we were struggling to sign some of the newcomers, and why wouldn't?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they
I'm
step
not sure
up?
You're right. Because even Messi, up until the day he came from his vacation, he didn't know he wasn't going to be signed. So I think what's happening here is that we might be conflating what is a general sentiment that we all know Barca's in financial trouble. They need to reduce their wages. That is different from the club itself going to Jordi Alba, Pique, Busquets, right, and Sergi Roberto, who all now reportedly are very close to signing new deals where they cut down their wages. Perhaps that conversation didn't happen till late, which does make me wonder about this whole Laporta saga. We don't want to beat a dead horse here, but something about how the club was handling all of this just doesn't add up to me in the end, and I am increasingly believing that the club knew for a while Messi could not be re-signed, and that they wanted it to seem as if they were going to sign him for public perception reasons.
I mean, we've definitely had our suspicions of some kind of black magic in the background, right? We've talked about the whole loan thing with the CVC. We've talked about the fact that we haven't still had a vote on the Super League, like all kinds of things that have happened in the woodworks that seem to not totally add up. You're right. I mean, there's something you're onto here, but will we ever know?
Hey, no. And let us know in the comments what you guys think. How do you feel about Sergio Roberto's contract? How you feel about Ilaix and whether we should just play him even if we don't sign him? What we should do, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like we said, please hit that subscribe button. Please tune in on Saturday before the game against Athletic Bilbao.
Live.
We will try and do a pregame and we'll do a postgame video. We're going to do more and more videos because Barca are on fire so far. Let's see if we can keep it up.
Guys.
Thank you, guys.